Hey Bobcat fans, welcome back into OhioBobcatsHockey.com. Justin Sampson and the head coach Dan Morris alongside me today for the Coach Dan Morris Show. Getting ready last week here, preparing for action this season. Full practice at Bird Arena before we head up to Strongsville this weekend. ACHA National Tournament in Strongsville, just a little south of Cleveland, and getting ready for an opponent a little familiar with, CSCHL opponent Illinois. You faced them 2 times here in your barn already. Obviously, you know the history with you guys. Typically, the home team tends to favor a little better in this matchup. There's that difference in rink size. Now you got the neutral ice, but certainly you guys have seen them enough to where you know what to expect from the Illini.
Yeah, and I think it goes both ways. I think they've seen us enough to know what to expect from us. So it's going to be a tough matchup for us. I think when you get to the national tournament, all matchups are tough. So it presents its challenge. We seem to always, at some point face a CSCHL opponent. Last year was our first year we didn't in a while, but this year facing a league opponent is going to be a challenge for us, and our guys are excited about the challenge and looking forward to it.
You just mentioned what I was going to ask next about that excitement, about the challenge. Is there any sort of different buzz with the boys this week, or does it just seem like another week of preparation, or is that a little extra added edge?
Well, it's always a tough week because, being on the quarter system, this is your quarters winding down. It's leading into exams, so it's a big challenge for us school-wise. Next week's the last week of the quarter. Exams are starting up, so academically, we give the guys the time that they need this week to take care of their schoolwork, and if we do proceed and advance in the tournament, to be prepared for that rather than not being prepared for it. So it presents its own challenge. So basically, we try to practice one real solid team practice this week, mixed in with a couple more individual practices.
This last week against Adrian, Friday you guys scored 5 goals. On Saturday, we talked a little bit about it in post-game, the emotions of senior night coupled with a good goaltending effort by Matt Anderson. But you guys had your chances. He was letting a lot of goals trickle out in front of him for the rebound efforts. They were there. Are you guys working on anything this week just to I saw you doing puck chasing drills here earlier in practice. What exactly are you trying to hone on after this last weekend that you saw against the Bulldogs?
Well, I mean, you can't really, script your practice based on the performance of a goaltender. I mean, it's either, you can put the puck in the back of the net or the goalie plays well and makes the save. So you can't really just do things to improve in the short term. You just, we're just trying to go over everything that we can. Tomorrow we'll go kind of cover everything, and then we'll game plan Thursday and go from there. So you really can't just, you just got to kind of say tip your cap to his performance. He played well, and forget about it and move on.
Finally, did you notice anything differently when Illinois came in here, knocked off Iowa State emphatically on that Friday in the league tournament, came in, lost to Lindenwood, now they're coming off a sweep of Eastern Michigan, just doing the eyeball test from the Illini? Did you see anything different from a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, I should say, when you played them?
No, I mean, they played the same way. I think, their win against Iowa State, it was just very opportunistic. They got most of their goals were rebound goals. So they created the first shot, managed to put home the rebound. So we'll talk to the goalies a little bit about controlling the rebounds and placing the rebounds where they need to place them. If they are, in the offensive zone, just trying to clog up the front of the net and trying to outnumber us there, just to make sure that the pucks get to the corners where the rebound chances are taken away. Make the first save. A lot of the shots were first save shots against Iowa State. So that's something we'll talk about. The goaltenders is just controlling the rebound, and it did come up because Saturday night, watching Brendan play and watching the video of Brendan play, he did not do a very good job of controlling his rebounds, and that's what got him in trouble early in the game.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Coach. Bobcats get in action first on the second day of play in the tournament on Saturday against the Fighting Illini, 1 p.m. at Hoover Ice Arena in Strongsville. Coach, we will see you up there for the tournament. Be sure to stay locked to OhioBobcatsHockey.com. We will keep you updated all throughout the Bobcats run through nationals this and into next week. But until then, for the Coach Dan Morris, I've been Justin Sampson, and this is Ohio Hockey.